Yes, now bless now, people. King of the Pit TV signing out on this one. We just listened to Ben Folds 5 with their album Whatever and Ever. Amen. All right, it was recommended on the Patreon by my good friend Marcus. It was the remastered version we listened to. I said at the start, listen for it. I adore a remaster. All right, it's incredibly rare that a remaster does a record a disservice. I do like a repolish, and you know what? The good thing about remasters, especially from records that have been put out via a label, hopefully mainstream label, is that the albums that are being remastered because they're of quality to justify getting remastered. So this was put out in 97, I do believe. 97, 98. And it's my very first experience listening to Ben Folds, right? Interesting experience. Piano-led music, three-piece, I believe, bass guitar, drum kit. So the piano serves as the mid-range, which of course has an extended range in relation to a guitar, but serves the purpose of what you tend to get with a guitar. Okay, but instead we've got a piano. Lyrical band. Singer-songwriter, may I say. More so than a rock band. Fascinating ideas and a unique identity that I don't normally come across. This particular soundscape was quite new to me. The performance on the piano perhaps was the dominating element of the band's sound. A lot of unique performance, a very human performance on the piano. Bit of dissonance here and there, what sounds like wrong notes being plinky-plonkied every once in a while, but left in and so consistent that you didn't know as to whether it was intentional or just the generalised essence of what was. Leave them in. They sound good. It makes it human. I like that. I appreciate that. I don't want to hear mechanical nonsense. I don't want to hear Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer. I want to hear human beings performing real things. Vocally, not too bad. There was a particular song or two where we entered a space, a particular register of his vocal, a particular, you know, when we speak of registers, it's a theoretical term which basically just means how high he sings to how low he sings, like within the spectrum of how he performs. When he's a little more hush, when he's in the lower frequency, it suits him a lot more. It suits the band a lot more. There's a good use of dynamics in this band. When they go a little bit quieter and hush, they really excel within that field. Very unique in the fact that the bass guitar, you know, had a lot of grit to the point where I was questioning if some of the more leadier moments or the higher up the fretboard, higher register, playing on the bass guitar was actually from a 6-string guitar. Especially with the added overdrive, the grit of the overdrive that was placed upon that bass guitar. Drumming was okay. I didn't think the drumming was spectacular, in all honesty, but I can't fault it. The drummer did their job, but I don't think the drummer's character was elevating the band's sound much. 12 tunes on the standard record. We listened to 13 songs with the remastered variation. But 12 songs, a substantial amount of material. Any more music could be overkill. They did the right amount. 12 was okay. I'd argue 10 was probably alright, you know, depending on your perspective. It fell with it being a free piece and the piano being the driving force. And me not being a lyrical guy, it felt like we needed another member of the band, in my personal opinion. It felt to me, and we incorporated, you know, a bit of string, a bit of brass from time to time, but they were ad-libs. They were session musicians. They weren't full-time participants of the sound. So it didn't really matter. I would personally have accommodated a... Hey, I'm missing the guitar. We need a little guitar. Keep yourself unique. Don't electrify it. Make it acoustic. You know, a little bit of chord work just to emphasize the patterns of the piano. That's all. That's all I ask. If I'll rate this record, not being a lyrical guy, not being a piano-infused guy, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Respectfully. It's not my taste. But regardless, it was a good record. We had some highs and lows and plenty of discussion, which is good art. I'm signing out on that one. Peace.